A pivotal year to wake up. Some years pass by quietly. You live through them and barely remember what you did. But then there is a pivotal year, a year that forces you to wake up and face yourself, not to complain, not to blame life, but to ask one brutal question: how much longer will I live this way? Many people say they want to change, but they only want the result, not the price. They want strength while keeping weak habits. They want peace while letting one opinion ruin their day. They want freedom while still living as prisoners of other people's approval. A pivotal year does not happen by chance. It begins when you decide from this day forward, I will not live the same way. Stoicism does not teach you to escape life. It teaches you to stand firm inside it. You do not need the world to become easier. You need to become stronger, calmer, sharper, and more disciplined. Stop asking the world for permission to live. Stand up. Enough weakness. The art of not caring. To recreate yourself. The first lesson is learning what not to care about. This does not mean being heartless. It does not mean being cold in a foolish way. It means taking your energy back from things that do not deserve it. People's opinions, criticism, judgment, society's empty standards. If you carry all of that in your mind, you turn your soul into a trash can. A Stoic understands one simple truth: some things are under your control, and some are not. You control your actions, attitude, thoughts, and discipline. You do not control what people think, say, like, or hate. Yet most people live backward. They neglect themselves, then suffer over one sentence from someone else. They avoid the work they should do, then spend the day imagining how others judge them. That is self-torture. From today, care about what matters: your health, your skill, your purpose, your character, everything else. Let it go. A strong person is not loved by everyone. A strong person keeps walking, even when no one claps. Turn inward and love yourself the right way. After you stop caring about what is meaningless, you must turn inward. This is the hardest part, because facing yourself hurts more than blaming the world. Blame is easy. Blame your family, your situation, society, your past, your ex, the market, bad luck. But if you keep living that way, you remain a victim. To recreate yourself, ask honestly, how many times have I betrayed myself? You promised to wake up early, then slept in. You promised to study, then scrolled. You promised discipline, then surrendered to comfort. Do not call that being tired. Sometimes it is just weakness dressed up as an excuse. Self-love is not self-indulgence. Self-love means respecting yourself enough to stop living cheaply. It means doing hard things when you do not feel like it. It means saying no to what drags you down. It means keeping promises to yourself. Stoicism teaches that dignity lives in your choices. You do not need to be perfect to begin. You only need to stop treating yourself like someone who is already defeated. Find purpose in the chaos. A person without purpose will be pulled by everything. Today, social media pulls them. Tomorrow, other people's words pull them. The next day, fear pulls them. In the end, life becomes nothing but a chain of weak reactions to the outside world. To recreate yourself, you need a purpose clear enough to anchor you. It does not have to be grand. It can be simple. I want to become someone I am not ashamed to face in the mirror. I want to be healthier. Visa, calmer, stronger, and more reliable. But that purpose must be real, not some pretty sentence you say to feel important. A Stoic does not wait for life to hand them meaning. They create meaning through action. When you have purpose, hardship is no longer a reason to quit. It becomes training. Failure becomes data. Solitude becomes a forge. The next year will not magically be better. It only becomes better when you enter it as a clearer person, less confused, less weak, less passive. Have a direction, have standards, have a reason not to quit. Practice Stoicism every day. Stoicism is not philosophy for decoration. It is daily practice. It means controlling your reactions, observing your emotions, and choosing what is right over what is easy. When insulted, a weak person reacts instantly to protect a fragile ego. A Stoic pauses and asks, "Is this worth my peace?" when failure comes. A weak person complains. A Stoic asks, "What is the lesson? What was my responsibility? And what will I correct next time?" You do not need to become a stone. You can feel sadness, pain, and disappointment. But you must not let emotion drive your life like a drunk man behind the wheel. Practice starts small. Wake up on time. Keep your word. Complain less. Do the work without needing motivation. Stay silent when something is not worth your energy. Every time you defeat a lower instinct, you rebuild yourself. Move slowly if you must, but move with discipline. Stay quiet if you must, but stay consistent. Do not just listen and feel inspired. Do the work. Meet the better version of yourself. A pivotal year can begin in silence. No fireworks, no applause. Just one honest moment when you realize you are tired of living halfway, tired of making promises and breaking them, tired of fear, tired of letting others define your worth, tired of watching other people rise while you stand still and comfort yourself with useless excuses. Here is the truth. No one is coming to save you. No miracle will turn a lazy person into a strong one. No motivation can replace discipline. Recreating yourself is painful. You must leave behind old habits, weak relationships, and the version of you that enjoys being pitied. Everyone is tired. The one who keeps going wins. Stoicism teaches you to stop begging life to be gentle. Instead, you build shoulders strong enough to carry your own burden. Do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "Who will I become because of this?" Your better self is waiting, but it will not wait for the version of you that keeps hesitating. Let go of what is not yours. To recreate yourself, you must learn to let go. Letting go does not mean quitting. It means no longer carrying things that rot your mind. Some people lose sleep over one sentence. Some suffer over someone who already left. Some spend the whole day wondering what others think of them. Then they call it depth. No. Often, it is weakness made romantic. A Stoic knows that what is not in your control should not become your chain. You cannot control who stays or leaves. You cannot control the past. You cannot control whether others approve of you. But you can control whether you rise today or stay down and complain. A pivotal year is the time to clean your mind. Remove resentment, envy, regret, self-pity, and fear of judgment. Do not carry a head full of garbage and expect to enter the next year as a clearer person. That is nonsense. If you want to feel lighter, release what is heavy. If you want to become stronger, cut what weakens you. If you want freedom, stop begging for what was never yours. Discipline is the bridge to your new self. Everyone loves to talk about dreams. Few want to talk about discipline. Dreams are beautiful. Discipline hurts. Dreams make you feel special. Discipline forces you to face the truth. You are lazy, weak, and breaking promises to yourself every day. You want to be healthier, but you will not train. You want to be smarter, but you will not study. You want to be calmer, but you let emotions scream in your head. You want a better life, but you waste time like a bankrupt man spending his last dollar. Then do not ask why nothing changes. A Stoic does not wait for inspiration. They act because it is their duty. Sad. They work. Tired. They work. Unseen. They work. With no quick result. They still work. A new self is not created by one explosive moment. It is built through hundreds of quiet days. Every time you wake up on time, keep your word, and choose the hard task over cheap distraction. You lay another brick. The next year does not reward good talkers. It rewards consistent doers. Enough softness. Do the work. Turn hardship into training. No one goes through life without pain. You will be rejected, misunderstood, betrayed, and defeated. Sometimes you will do the right thing and still lose. Sometimes you will give everything, and the result will still slap you in the face with silence. That is when your true nature appears. The weak complain, the coward blames, the immature quit. The Stoic pauses and asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" Stoicism does not demand that you pretend to be okay. You are allowed to feel pain, sadness, and disappointment. But you are not allowed to use pain as an excuse to destroy your life. Pain is not permission to collapse. Failure is not permission to become a cheaper version of yourself. Every hardship has two sides. One side crushes you, the other sharpens you. Which side wins depends on you. A pivotal year may not be easy. It may be the year life pushes you against the wall, but that is where you discover your real strength. Do not pray for a life without storms. Build roots deep enough to survive them. Slow down to see yourself clearly. In a world that keeps telling you to run, sometimes the strongest move is to stop, not to be lazy. To see clearly. Ask yourself, what am I running toward? A real goal? Or fear of being left behind? My own desire? Or envy of someone else's life? My inner calling? Or some empty standard from social media? Many people are so busy they no longer know whether they are living or merely existing. They wake up, grab their phone, compare themselves, work, come home, exhausted, then numb themselves with cheap entertainment. Day after day, they call it life. It is not life. It is a loop. To recreate yourself, you need silence. A Stoic asks, how did I react today? Where did emotion control me? What did I do right? What did I avoid? These questions are uncomfortable, but necessary. A person who never examines himself repeats the same mistakes and calls it bad luck. Do not fear silence. In silence, you hear yourself more clearly. Stop seeking approval. Build ability. One of the biggest traps in self-improvement is the hunger for approval. You do a little and want praise. Train for a few days and want recognition. Learn a few lessons and think you are advanced. Post something. Get no response. Lose motivation. Then quit. That is weak thinking. A strong person does not build life on applause. Applause comes and goes. Today they praise you. Tomorrow they forget you. Today they support you. Tomorrow they turn away. If you live on approval, silence will destroy you. Instead of seeking recognition, build ability so strong it cannot be denied. That is the solid path. A Stoic works quietly. They do not need everyone to see their effort. They know real value is built in darkness before it is seen in the light. In this pivotal year, show less and build more. Explain less and prove through results. Stop asking whether others believe in you. Live in a way that makes you stop doubting yourself. When ability becomes real, confidence is no longer self-talk. It becomes fact. Rebuild the identity of a new person. Recreating yourself is not just changing a few habits. It is rebuilding your identity. Do not merely say, "I want to wake up early." Become the kind of person who respects the morning. Do not merely say, "I want discipline." Become the kind of person who keeps promises even when no one is watching. A new identity is built through small, repeated choices. Every time you read instead of scrolling, you vote for your new self. Every time you stay silent instead of reacting in anger, you vote for your new self. Every time you do the work without motivation, you vote for your new self. Do not underestimate small actions. A life does not collapse in one day. It collapses through thousands of small surrenders. A person does not become strong overnight. They become strong through thousands of right choices made in private. Do not carry the old names into the next year. Procrastinator, coward, quitte, victim. Build a new identity. Disciplined, calm, purposeful, reliable, relentless. When you believe who you are, you act like that person. When you act like that person long enough, you become that person. Choose an environment that does not pull you down. No one recreates themselves while living every day in a toxic environment. You may have willpower, but if you are surrounded by complainers, lazy people, drama addicts, and people who mock growth, sooner or later you will absorb the smell. Do not pretend you are immune to everything. People are shaped by what they hear, what they watch, who they meet, and the stories they repeat daily. If you want the next year to be better, choose your environment carefully. You do not have to cut everyone off, but you must learn distance. Some people should only get a polite greeting, not access to your mind. Some conversations only make you weaker, dumber, and more negative. A Stoic does not hate people without reason, but they are strict with their attention. They know life is short, the mind is precious, and time cannot be recovered. Stay close to people who make you want to improve. Learn from disciplined people. Listen to what sharpens your mind. Read what deepens your soul. Do not hold garbage and expect to smell clean. Accept solitude on the path of change. When you begin to change, you may become lonelier, not because you are wrong, but because you no longer belong to your old self. People who knew your undisciplined version may feel uncomfortable when you become serious. People who liked hearing you complain may feel strange when you start taking action. They may say you are acting different, trying too hard, or becoming distant. Let them talk. A tree must crack its old bark to grow. A person must leave old circles to mature. Do not fear solitude. Solitude does not kill you. Living against yourself does. A Stoic knows, some roads must be walked alone. No one can train for you. No one can think for you. No one can take responsibility for you. No one can recreate you for you. You can receive guidance, inspiration, and support, but the steps are yours. In solitude, you learn self-command. You stop needing constant proof that you are okay. Do not return to your old self just because the new path feels empty. Better to be alone while building your life than surrounded by people rotting together. End the old self to begin a new life. One day, you must hold a quiet funeral for your old self. The procrastinator, the coward, the approval seeker, the fragile ego, the person who talks much and does little, the person who uses pain as an excuse to stay weak. Let that version die. Do not mourn it. It brought you here. But it cannot take you where you need to go. To enter the next chapter as a new person, you must accept that some parts of you are no longer allowed to exist. This is not self-hatred. This is self-respect at a higher level. You respect yourself enough to stop living beneath your potential. You are awake enough to stop being dragged by emotion. You are strong enough to move forward without waiting for life to become easy. One day, you will look back and realize you no longer react the same way. You no longer fear the same things. You no longer need to be liked by everyone. That is when you know you have won, not against the world, against the weak part inside you. That is the greatest victory.